Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Ella. This is my first ever YouTube video. Scary, I know. And my channel is just a bit of whatever, like mainly music, but some get ready with me's, stuff like that. Don't talk to me about the tan on my neck, please. I know it's bad. Okay, so today's video is going to be the top 5 albums that I cannot live without. My favourite albums, why I love them, you know, when I first discovered them, my favourite songs, that kind of thing. Okay, so let's get into the video. The first album that I can't live without is Hole's 1994 Live Through This. I first listened to this album when I was about 15 maybe, and then yeah, I'd say 15 I first listened to this album. She Walks on Me was the first song that I ever heard. It's still one of my favourites. I think it's like absolutely like the epitome of teenage girlhood. Like, I just think it's beautiful. So She Walks on Me is definitely like number one. I think Miss World is like an amazing song. I love Miss World. My best friend actually got me a Miss World lighter for my birthday because, you know, it's Courtney love. Speaking of which, background, Live Through This was actually released just weeks after Kurt Cobain's death. Obviously it had been written prior to his death, but there's lots of lyrics in the songs that kind of speak about the heroin addiction that was going on at the time, for Courtney, for Kurt, and for all kind of the people surrounding them. They were in the Seattle music scene, which sadly there was a lot of tragic deaths due to drugs and things like that. So it's a very emotional album, but I also just think it's amazing. I don't really know what you would categorise it as personally. I actually almost got cancelled on TikTok for making a TikTok. I'll put the TikTok on the screen. I almost got cancelled for that TikTok because it said about Riot Girl, and I used Celebrity Skin. I only used the song Celebrity Skin because it says Hook a Waitress. And it was about me being a waitress, but you know, everyone decided to hate and cancel, and all the comments were like, oh, it's not Riot Girl, like whatever, and that's fine. Like, I'm not saying that Courtney is a Riot Girl, because touchy subject, I'm well aware, but you know, I think she was there at the time. She definitely had an influence on the Riot Girl scene. I'm not saying it was a good influence, but she did. I actually did a whole project about the history of Riot Girl, so I'll definitely make a video about Riot Girl music because that is definitely my favourite genre. But people were not happy on my TikTok comments, so I just want to put that out there. I know Hole is not a Riot Girl band, but I also don't really think it's purely grunge. I think that's kind of like, we're putting it in a box, and it's not. Another album from Hole is Celebrity Skin, which, like, another amazing album, but personally Live Through This is like my absolute favourite. So yeah, top 3 songs: Miss World, She Walks on Me, and probably Rockstar. I like that one. It's a bit different. Okay, so go give it a listen. Then the second album that I absolutely cannot live without, this is kind of a basic answer: Appetite for Destruction. I mean, I'm sorry, what an album. Banger after banger after banger. I heard this for the first time. My uncle actually played it for me when I literally, like, I was like maybe 8, 9, and I remember him playing it for me in the car and me thinking that Guns N' Roses were a bunch of like ugly old men. How wrong I was. But yeah, that's when I first heard it. But when I first really listened to it, I would probably say I was like 12, 13. Like, that was when I really started to get into like rock music. Obviously I'm not saying it's the heaviest album in the world before people want to cancel me again, but no, I think Appetite for Destruction is just an amazing album by Guns N' Roses, obviously. I didn't even specify that. It came out in 1987. It was Guns N' Roses' first album, and without a doubt their best album. I don't think anyone's going to disagree with me on that point. The most popular songs on the album would be Sweet Child of Mine, obviously everyone knows that song, Welcome to the Jungle, and Paradise City. They were all singles when they released, obviously amazing. Like, that, I cannot complain about any of those songs, like, they are perfect. Actually my great uncle was at the concert where they recorded the video for Paradise City. Sorry, that's not okay. That's actually not okay. Like, he was at Monsters of Rock. Like, I'm done. Not okay. But anyways, my favourite song personally, obviously, like, the famous songs are famous for a reason. Like, I will never understand people hating on the famous songs. Like, why do you think they're famous? You know? But whatever. My favourite songs, My Michelle. Oh my goodness. I think My Michelle is like such a good song. Like, it is so amazing. Like, the way the beat drops at the beginning gets me every single time. So My Michelle, definitely one of my favourites. I would say Rocket Queen. Come on now. We all know the story behind Rocket Queen. Like, how can you not love a story with that much drama? Yeah, My Michelle, Rocket Queen. Night Train. I like Night Train. My dad loves Night Train. That is like his favourite song on the album and he always plays it. So I feel like that one's been like put into me, you know? So I'd say those were my 3 favourite songs from the album. Other albums by Guns N' Roses are obviously Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. Great songs. There's The Spaghetti Incident, which is their like cover albums. Hair of the Dog is so good on that. Me and my friend absolutely love Axl Rose's cover of Hair of the Dog. So good. Apart from, they do a Charles Manson cover, which that's not really okay, but not my problem. Lies, which Patience is on. I actually have the poster on my wall. Wait, there. That's from, you can see a woman's breast in that. That is from Lies. Another good album, not my favourite. And then, you know, they all broke up. They're back together now, because I'm sure you know. They've released new songs since. I'm not going to comment. But me and my friend actually went to see Guns N' Roses tribute act. That was interesting. Great. He did the fake Axl Rose, Faxel as we call him, fake Axl. He did the Rocket Queen rap. Let that sink in. That was quite the experience, I will say. And no one else seemed to know what was going on, but believe me, when he says, you with me, your mother, yeah, I was eating that up. Yeah, so Appetite for Destruction. Another album I cannot live without. And someone's commented on my Riot Girl video. But it's hate. Third favourite album and slash album I cannot live without. Too Fast for Love by Motley Crue. What an album. Motley Crue is my favourite band in the whole world. I know they've done bad things. I know they're not the best band in the world, but they're my favourite band in the world. They were the first like proper concert I ever went to go see. Because obviously COVID kind of got in the way of me going to see concerts. Because, like, you know, kind of ruined it for me. But yeah, I went to see Motley Crue and Def Leppard recently when they were on their tour last year, almost a year ago actually, which is kind of crazy. I saw them in Sheffield. I did my chemistry GCSE in the morning. My dad picked me up. We drove to Sheffield, which is like maybe like 2 hours away. Drove to Sheffield. Woo! Watched Motley Crue, watched Def Leppard. That poster's from Sheffield. Amazing, perfect. No complaints. I don't care if they're not playing their instruments. I don't care if Vince can't sing. It was great, okay? I actually peaked that day and I've never returned. So yeah, and then we drove back home the same night and I took my English literature exam the next day and I got a 9. So all in all, slayed. And then I went to see them at Wembley with my mum and my dad in the summer of that year, which was also amazing. So good, but people are so boring. Like, on a real one, why is no one getting up to dance? Like, when Def Leppard were playing, it was like, I can't think what song it was, maybe like Hysteria. No, it wasn't Hysteria. Let's Get Rocked, which is like, Let's Get Rocked is my Def Leppard song. Like, no one loves Let's Get Rocked. Like, I love Let's Get Rocked. Like, I'm not proclaiming to be the biggest Def Leppard fan. That goes to my mother. No one loves Def Leppard like she does. But Let's Get Rocked. And Joe Elliott went, I've got another question for you. Do you want to get rocked? And it's, I don't get copyrighted for music, but so good. But anyways, so that song's going. These women who are sat in Def Leppard shirts, right? They had Def Leppard shirts on because all the way through Motley Crue, They did not get up. They didn't do anything, which is fine. Like, I appreciate if Motley Crue's not your music and you're there for Def Leppard, that's fine. But like, you've paid an awful lot of money to be at that concert. At least be happy to be there, you know? So I was like dancing, like there were these people next to us that we like befriended. So anyways, Let's Get Rocked is playing. They asked me to move so they can sit down and video it. And I was like, sorry. What? And they went, can you stop dancing for a second, please? Sorry. I was ready to throw punches right then and there, but my mum was like, chill. It's not worth it. I can't even remember what this tangent was about now. Too Fast for Love. Okay, I understand. Motley Crue, the band for me, okay? The epitome of bands. I think Nikki Sixx is like the most amazing songwriter. Well, maybe not. I feel like I'm going to get hate for saying that, but so good. So good. So I first got into Motley Crue. I watched The Dirt. So good, so good. I watched The Dirt when I was like 13, 14. I don't know. Oh my god, I didn't shut my window. That's so embarrassing. I need to not flash anyone. Okay, well that's really embarrassing for me. But I am repping my Motley Crue shirt. It has fake tan all over it though, which is a bit embarrassing. Get to the point, Ella. Too Fast for Love. There we go. And I watched The Dirt. And when I first watched The Dirt, the moment he was like, when you're born in the wrong time, you make it yours. Do 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 do. Beautiful. Perfection. Yeah, you get it. So that is when I first got into Motley Crue. Probably shouldn't have watched The Dirt at 13, to be quite honest. But you know, here we are. But for Too Fast for Love, the most famous songs, it's definitely not their most famous album. It's their debut album, released in 1981. It was originally released on their own record label, which was called Leather and Lace, or Leather Records, something along those lines. I'm not sure. But yeah, and then obviously it was released on their actual record deal. But Livewire, I would say, is probably their most famous song. Take Me to the Top, obviously, that was stupid. Livewire and Take Me to the Top are like their most famous ones from that album. My personal favourites, On With The Show, right? Guys, no one likes On With The Show like I like On With The Show, okay? My first tattoo, the day I turn 18, which is only like 6 months away, which is terrifying, I'm getting On With The Show tattooed there on my 18th birthday. That is what I'm doing, okay? Because you don't even understand, guys. Just please take a minute and go and listen to On With The Show, okay? Good. So On With The Show, obviously number one. She's, love it. Come On and Dance. I know it's like kind of a bit of nothing, but like it hits. Like I'm like, Take Me to the Top is definitely one of my favourites as well. I think, yeah, Take Me to the Top is my third favourite realistically. But some honourable mentions. Too Fast for Love. There we go, Ella. Took a moment. Too Fast for Love, obviously a great song. And Merry Go Round. My dad loves Merry Go Round. Merry go round and round, merry go round and round. Hits. Love it. So those are my top three favourite songs from the album. Some honourable mentions, obviously. Yeah. Other Motley Crue albums, I'd say they have like 5 main ones. So it's Take Me to the Top, then it's Shout at the Devil, then it's Theatre of Pain, then it's Girls, 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 and what was Girls, Girls, Girls before Theatre of Pain? I don't know. And then Dr. Feelgood. And then they had, I don't actually know what their other albums are called, if I'm honest. I'm not a huge fan of their later stuff. But their recent song, Dogs of War, is actually quite good. Like, I know it's getting a bit of hate, but like, I was kind of eating it up. But I'd say Dr. Feelgood is probably their most famous album. That was like 1989. Yeah, because they did the Moscow Peace Festival. Ugh, what I wouldn't have give to be at that Moscow Peace Festival. While we're on the topic, Skid Row, Motley Crue, Ozzy Osbourne, Scorpions and Bon Jovi. Are you joking me? Jealousy. Jealousy, okay? I need to remember what my other albums were now. Oh, I've got a hate on my video. Oh, a girl commented Def Leppard. Someone commented on my TikTok Def Leppard. I am actually TikTok famous, guys. I have 2 viral videos. Go follow my TikTok in the description. And comment hate on my Riot Girl video because that's what everyone else likes to do, so you do it. My 4th album I cannot live without is Metallica's 1984, Ride the Lightning. Let's just take a moment. Like, I'm speechless. Beautiful. Obviously, the most famous songs would be, I mean, they're all just so famous, because you know Metallica's just so famous. James Hetfield's in the back, staring at, oh, there's the rest of them. Oh, and again. So before you call me a poser, take a look. But I think the most famous songs from that album, I don't know what the most famous song from that album is on a real one. Oh, that was stupid. For Whom the Bell Tolls is obviously the most famous song from the album. Please don't cancel me for not knowing, for not thinking about that. For Whom the Bell Tolls, and you know what? That's #1 of my favourites. And we've all seen that video of Cliff Burton, like, A Day on the Green. Nothing hits like For Whom the Bell Tolls hits. Like, oh my goodness, I need it like injected into me. So good. That bass line, like, don't get me wrong, Jason and Rob are great, but like, Cliff, please. Amazing. So that would be my #1 favourite song and the most popular song, Creeping Death. Oh my goodness, I feel like there's a theme here. Creeping Death. Die, mother. Die. Die. Like, so good. That one concert is like 89, Seattle. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Just so good. What I wouldn't give to see Metallica live. Like, I would probably like have to sell my soul, but it would be worth it. I just think Creeping Death is like the song. It's like Master of Puppets before Master of Puppets. Like, Master of Puppets is an amazing song. I know it's the most famous one, but like, obviously it's famous, it's amazing. But like, Creeping Death is so good. Beautiful. And my 3rd favourite, I would say Fade to Black, but like, it's a bit sad. It's a bit emotional for me personally. Probably Ride the Lightning. The title track. I like that one. That's a really good one. That's definitely up there. I'm going to do a whole video on Metallica at some point because I love Metallica. Other albums by Metallica would be, obviously, Justice for All. I'm not gonna lie, guys, I know one song from Justice for All. One song, and it's one. That wasn't even funny, shop. Kill 'Em All. Love Kill 'Em All. I was at school the other day, well, college. I was at college the other day, and I had my Kill 'Em All hoodie on. Vintage Kill 'Em All hoodie. So good. And a security guard stopped me and was like, is that a Kill 'Em All jumper? And I was like, yeah. And I thought he was gonna be like, name 3 songs, and I was gonna be like, but no, he was like, that's so cool. And I was like, I know. Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, and Justice for All. They like that, didn't they? Then Master of Puppets, then the Black Album. And then, you know, you've got like Death Magnetic and stuff like that. And 72 Seasons. I really like 72 Seasons. Like, you can hate it if you want, but I personally think 72 Seasons is a good album. Me and my friend went to like the album release thing where they did it at the cinema. I'll put a photo. And Lars on the thing said, he said exclamation point, and I couldn't stop laughing, and my best friend had to tell me to shut up. Shout out to Jess if you're watching this. I know I embarrassed you in that cinema. But I couldn't help myself, to be quite honest. It was funny. So yeah, that's Metallica, Ride the Lightning. Those are my favourite albums. My 5th and final favourite album, guys, prob's gonna hate me for this one. The music boys are gonna hate me. It's Bon Jovi's Crossroads, okay? I'm a Bon Jovi girl. I was raised by a Bon Jovi mother and a Bon Jovi father, and I'm a Bon Jovi child. I love Bon Jovi. And I could have picked an individual album. I could have said Slippery When Wet. I could have said New Jersey, but no. I am saying Crossroads because it has every good song ever. Obviously, the most famous song by Bon Jovi is Living on a Prayer. You Give Love a Bad Name. We all know them. Hits, don't get me wrong. Talk about, you know, the less popular ones. My favourite ones. So my favourite song on the album is Bad Medicine. Such a good song. Every single lyric to that song is ingrained into my brain. When they do the little, I need a respirator cause I'm running out of breath. So good. And there's a version of Richie Zambora singing that on Spotify live. You should listen to it because he's so good. Like, don't get me wrong, John Bon Jovi is like the best frontman for Bon Jovi, but Richie Zambora can really sing. Like, I love Richie Zambora, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, you should go listen to his album, Stranger in This Town, River of Love, Ballad of Youth. Oh, Ballad of Youth is such a good song. That's an honourable mention. It's included. So we have Bad Medicine, Someday I'll Be Saturday Night, which was actually only ever released on Crossroads. So Crossroads is like a compilation album of their greatest hits. I think it was released in like mid-90s, maybe late 90s. So obviously like most of the only like really famous song of theirs that isn't on it is It's My Life, because that was a later album that was on Crush, I do believe. But all their like hits are on it. But Someday I'll Be Saturday Night was only released on that album, and I do not think it gets enough of appreciation. Like, that is such an amazing song. I love that song. And then my third favourite song, which is going to be my wedding song, is I'll Be There For You. Beautiful. There's nothing to say, really. I'll Be There For You is like a masterpiece. Like, it's so good. I know that like it's written about him like cheating on his wife or whatever, but I don't really care about that. I'll Be There For You is just, it's there. Honourable mentions, Sleep When I'm Dead. No, I don't think Sleep When I'm Dead is on Crossroads. I don't believe it is. Okay, well, I lied. So that is my fifth and final album that I cannot live without. We're going to do some honourable mentions of albums that I cannot live without, because picking 5 albums I can't live without was very difficult, believe me. So for honourable mentions, we have L7's 1990 album, Smell the Magic. We have Skid Row's self-titled Skid Row. And finally, Aerosmith's Toys in the Attic. Those are my absolute favourite albums. Albums I couldn't live without. Albums I will never live without. Live through this. You cannot take them away from me. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. There's going to be lots more music content coming. I've got summer soon. I'm going to be free. There might be some little vlogs, some stuff like that, you know. That's what we're going for. I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment your top 5 favourite albums that you can never live without. Yeah.